It feels like the mother wants us to avoid the energy of desperation. The social conditioning that breeds desperation. Like that's what I'm picking up. She wants us to maintain a vibration of good energy, even when there's something you desire, but the timing right now is not conducive for it to come forth right now. There's a need to maintain a good vibration because the good energy it keeps you on the path toward it, and it keeps the thing you're wanting, desiring, working on, manifesting. It keeps it in an energy that is attracted to your energy. So there's a need, a need to avoid desperation, social conditioning that is creating desperation around love, the giving and the receiving of love, around money, around ambitions, around any desire of anything that you desire, right? Like, don't become desperate for it. Don't let your circumstances dictate whether you are able to hold the energy required to manifest it. It feels like that's what she wants us to know. What I'm kind of picking up from the download is the place where many people, many of us as divine feminines, the place where you feel the most numb is actually the place where you hold the most power. I just want to pause right there. Okay. The space in your auric field, the space in your being, whether it be in your mind, in your heart, in your womb, in your hands, in your feet. Maybe you don't feel like getting up and doing anything. So your feet and your hands feel numb, inactive, don't want to do it, don't know what to do. Choosing to procrastinate, choosing to not place my hands, not get active in something. The place where you feel the most numb in your heart is the place of your greatest power. The social conditioning and the desperation is trying to cause you to fear that place of power by creating situations to numb out your consciousness in that place of power. So where you are the most numb is where you are the most powerful. There's a version of you that you're becoming right now, that we are becoming right now. We are becoming our future selves. We are bringing that future self into current reality. The beautiful thing is that current reality doesn't necessarily mean today. When we're thinking in the aspect of time, current is current. Time is not linear. And this is why your current, as in right now in time, your current circumstances cannot dictate your becoming. your being. Some of us have already kind of tapped into our higher self, right? And I don't know about anybody else, but sometimes when we listen to people talk about the higher self, it's like after you get in touch with your higher self, everything about your current self is going to be like all hunky dory and shit. Like I'm in touch with my higher self, so there's no more shadow work. There's no more this. There's no more that. I mean, I guess I picked that energy up because though I hear a lot of people talk about their higher self, I haven't really heard anyone really talk about what happens after you get in touch with your higher self. Like in reality, in the realness of it, not the mystical metaphysicalness of it all and the wind in the air and the cloudiness of it all, but at a grounded level, after you get in touch with your higher self, what can be expected? Truly. Well, what happens to your lower self? Does that aspect of you just freaking disappear? Does it no longer exist? But as a person who's gotten in touch with my higher self, I can now answer that question for myself. Your higher self is waiting for you to let it jump into, waiting for you to let it help you. Waiting for you to see that it's time to give your higher self the opportunity to take the wheel. We get caught up in the everyday circumstances of life, in the physical reality, and we know about all of these aspects of ourselves. We know about our shadows. We know about, our masculine, our feminine. We know about all of this stuff. We know about the deities. We know about the goddesses. We know about a lot, But when it comes to the rubber meeting the road, are we allowing still, and maybe not in every way in your life, but in maybe another way that you haven't given a look at? Because we can get easily caught up in the mysticism, the mystical aspects of being spiritual, and then not see that something still needs to be alchemized over here, and that your reality and the environment of the physical world is creating a desperation that is subtly working in the shadow. And this is why it's important to ground. For someone in the collective, the mother is saying that some aspect of you is deeply rooted in some sort of ancient history, some sort of past life history, karma, trauma, that is breeding, and it constantly breeds and brings up in you self-doubt. So no, time doesn't always align with your desires, but holding the vibration of the future self, allowing the future self the opportunity that it's been waiting for to help you seize the moment. The moment. Not overthink it. Not out of desperation. Not out of greed. Not out of an overactive ego. But out of becoming. Out of being. freeing yourself from any pressure. Freeing yourself from any pressure to arise to the occasion allows you to rise to the occasion in a way that is authentic to you and not out of social conditioning and not out of rules, regulations, social normative ideas of what should be, could be, is supposed to be. That's what it feels like the mother wants us to know. That we're surrounded by beautiful, uplifting energy in our ancestors, in other individuals. Surrounded by beautiful, uplifting energy with whomever we consider to be on our spirit team. And they're showing us the signs that we're on the right track, and we just have to hold that vibration. We have to pull on the uplifting energy when desperation wants to creep in. When the childlike consciousness that you are here making decisions with in your physical world wants to be a brat or have a temper tantrum. This is when the higher self, this is when we lean into people around us who resonate with our energy. We resonate with theirs. Good energy. If we have that, if we don't have those people as of now, as of yet, we lean into the divine. We lean into the mother. We lean into source. We lean into our spirit team to replenish the uplifting energy, to receive the reminders that we call downloads. The reminders that all is well, right? The reminders that this too shall pass. The reminders that this is what's taking place in the shadow that is undermining your joy, that is trying to stir up desperation in you so you make quick, hasty decisions with your heart, with your ambitions, with your investments of time and energy. There's no rush. It's perfectly okay to give yourself the grace to evolve into your desires. Because sometimes we want something, we desire something, but we haven't evolved into that aspect of ourselves that can actually hold what we desire. We're beautifully creative in that way because we can see something we want. We can create imagination to create it before it is. But in the time between creating the vision and the vision manifesting, we have to evolve into the vision. And we get impatient when we have to evolve into the vision. When you're in the in between. So someone, divine feminine, someone needs to give yourself some grace, babe. Give yourself some grace. Unlearn making important decisions that impact your future and highest self. Unlearning making those decisions based on external influences, but making those decisions out of the wisdom, out of the nurturing, out of the guidance of the soul and spirit, of the highest self that is coming into fruition. That brings self-doubt, negative self-perspectives, fear, confusion. Those types of energies become ancient history to the divine feminine that masters grace. Grace for who you are right now, for who you're becoming, for who you'll always be. Though it may feel like the wrong time right now for something that you are desiring, it's the perfect time, in all honesty. It's the perfect time to look at, if it's not here now, we know that divine timing is at play for a lot of things, but if it's not here now, in divine timing, how do I further prepare? How do I further adjust? What I do I need to dot and what T do I need to further cross? Am I paying attention to the details of my authenticity as I'm manifesting? Or am I folding under the pressure of the absence of the thing I desire? Am I paying attention to the details that are true to me? Am I approaching my life with a sense of playfulness that breeds joy and satisfaction? Again, no external influence is needed, because anything in your external world that tries to appear to you as if it is opposing you, when you hold a certain childlikeness and an adventurousness to your spiritual growth and your life, then even challenges become fun. More fun can be had because now I get the chance to put this shit together like some Legos, right? I get to take which pieces and how I want to build out what I want to build out with this challenge, with this opposition. I get to shape shift. I used to hear a lot of motivational people, Les Brown, them, some of them other ones, always talk about perspective. Your perspective is the key to life. And, I was just, on some Jesus stuff then, so I would be like, nah, Jesus. You need Jesus. That's what you need. That's what's wrong with you now. You're leaning on your own understanding. You know? I've been to some others here. But, baby, perspective, though you may not can control the outcome, though you may not be able to control some external influences, what you can absolutely master is perspective. And the faster you can master that, the faster you can avoid any desperation, any illusions that external influences try to press you into making very important decisions for your soul and spirit out of desperation, thereby undermining your royalty, your divinity, your femininity, your crown, and the power and authority that comes with your being. Perspective. You have the power to define anything in your life the way you fucking want to. You have the power to define any experience you're experiencing right now in your life the way you want to. That is how godly you are. Because what you say it is what it is. To know that is the single-handed most liberating thought form that you can grab hold to and not let go. I can rewrite this narrative of this relationship, of this termination on this job, of this divorce, of this passing away of somebody I love. I can rewrite the financial challenges. I can rewrite this shit however I want to. The backstabbing of family, the rumors and the slander that comes from close friends, I can rewrite that however I want to. In your reality, you always write the last chapter of the story. That last chapter of whatever experience, okay, this is the story, this was presented. Now what's going to happen in the end? Well, let me think about it. Well, I mean, I got a couple options. I could sit here and wallow, okay, and in the end, I could be, defeated. Depends on if I want sequels to this shit or not, or do I just want to go ahead and just write the end of this little experience right here and make myself the overcomer and the victor. And we don't need no sequels to this shit. Sick of this showing up. Let me just go ahead and use this experience that I probably have seen multiple other times in multiple other relationships, in multiple other situations in my past. I've seen this story here before. Now that I know that I have the pen to write the chapter, how do I want to write this last chapter of this book? Here, this story here. How do I want to come out on the end of this story? You have the final say so. And this is why the mother is saying there is no desperation. There is no need to not give yourself the grace. To not give yourself the grace is self-robbery. You're robbing yourself of your authority. And to execute that authority, when we let desperation win, when we let social conditioning rob us of our grace, of our patience, of our becoming, of our playfulness, of our joy and our satisfaction in the process, when we let desperation put us in a place where we forget our divinity, grace calls it back. Grace doesn't even judge the fact that you got caught up in desperation. Grace doesn't condemn you. Self-love doesn't downcast you. It always picks you up. Always. Always picks you up. And eventually, self-love will make self-doubt, will make desperation, will make fear, negative self-talk a thing of the past altogether. That chapter is over. That book is over. That story is over. The Divine Feminine Collective rewrote or chose to write the ending in a way where they will always be the victor. This has been Sacred Empowerments of the Divine Feminine. I hope something has been said to you, my sister, to bring you confirmation and clarity. I greatly appreciate all of you who tap in for these moments for the Mother to empower us and impart to us. Let me know how it resonated, how it reverberated, all right? Like, share, okay? Subscribe if this is your first time, all right? Turn on your notification bell so you know when I'm back with another message. Go through the playlist. There are some very powerful tarot readings, very powerful divination readings, and then we have the Sacred Empowerments of the Divine Feminine and a lot more to come, all right? So turn on your notification bell so you know when I'm back with another one. I love you guys. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace, family.